Helga Stevens, MEP, has enlisted the support of over 25 MEPs to support a resolution on sign languages and professional sign language interpreting. The meeting brought together signing groups from across Europe with simultaneous signing into all European languages. Are deaf people excluded from the democratic process?
I would say partly yes. And I would say this because deaf people don't have access to information. There's a lot of information that's presented on the radio or on the television, debates that take place in Parliament that aren't accessible. And deaf people would like to have access to this. Obviously, they don't have access to the radio. If there's no captioning or subtitling on the television, they won't have access to that. And within parliamentary procedures, again, no access to that conversation that's taking place. So because they can't hear what's going on and the discussions that are taking place, then you may be able to say, well, they can read the program. But, I mean, that's another part of the problem, is that a lot of deaf people struggle with their literacy skills. And also, why should deaf people be limited to reading the program while other individuals who are not deaf have such easy access to that information?
How will this resolution make a difference?
The hope with the resolution, in terms of it making a difference, is that there'll be more attention paid to sign language interpretation. And sign language interpreters specifically, they're very often ignored, especially when considering spoken language interpreters. Sign language interpreters are absolutely key in terms of deaf people being able to have inclusion within society. Often sign language interpreters are working within bad conditions. Their income from doing this work is not as good as the other interpreters. And often their training isn't as good, which often results in sign language interpreters that are not qualified and not professional. And that's what we need. We need good quality sign language interpreters so that deaf people will have access and be included in terms of education, culture, and politics in the democratic process. So you can't have good qualified interpreters unless you have all of those things in place. If a deaf person wants to go to see a doctor, for example, let me say this way, you would never say that it would be okay to see a doctor if they weren't qualified, right? So why should deaf people be satisfied with poorly trained sign language interpreters? And you're paying peanuts, you're going to get a monkey.